Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives. Ready?
Welcome to another episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC. Today, we get to take the mystery out of this Covert Moderator. This is actually put out by Cattleman Guns, and this is specifically designed for air guns. And we're going to get into the legal aspect of this because there's a lot of confusion when it comes to that, and I'm going to clear all that up for you today, and I think it's important. So grab a piece of paper and a pencil. You might want to take notes on this one. Okay, but before we get into that, do me a favor if you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button down in the corner. Really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you guys anything, but it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, check out my website at www.airgundetectives.com. On the site now, we've got t-shirts, I've got some hats that just came out, and we also have our Generation 2 bipods. So those are all available there if you want to check that out. All right, let's get back to this first. Let's talk about the moderator here. Sometimes they're called a moderator. You've heard the term silencer. That's more of a Hollywood term. Muffler, different terms that you can use, suppressor, what have you. So let me give you the facts regarding the legality, because you hear all kinds of opinions when it comes to air guns and suppressors. So let's clear all this up first. That's the first thing that we're going to do. All right, there's a U.S. code, which is 18 U.S.C. 921 parentheses small a parentheses 3 parentheses large a. It defines what a firearm is. A firearm is a weapon that expels a projectile by the action of an explosive, okay? So clearly a firearm, term fire, by an explosive. So there's an actual explosion in the gun that causes the projectile to exit the barrel, okay? Also, there's an ATF rule, 2005-4. That actually explains, they give an example, for instance, a paintball gun, which uses compressed air to expel a projectile, is not classified as a firearm. And air guns fall into that same category. This has even been tested. There's actually case law on this, is the United States of America versus Michael Crooker. Okay, that was settled in June of 2010. And in that case, basically, they arrested this Crooker guy for some unrelated issues, but they also found an air gun suppressor, and they tried to charge him with that under the firearm section, and it didn't hold water. So let's also talk about 18 U.S.C. 921 parentheses small a parentheses 3 parentheses c. This states the term firearm silencers or firearm mufflers. That means any device for silencing, muffling, or diminishing the report of a portable firearm. In other words, you fire a gun, anything that suppresses that sound where they can't tell it's coming from that gun. So that is your definition of a firearm silencer or firearm muffler, specifically for firearms, okay? Keep that in mind. These are specifically designed, these moderators are specifically designed and built and intended for the use of air guns and air guns only. By the way, it's a violation of federal law if you were to try to modify this and use it in any other manner than what it was intended for. So this is intended for air rifles. In fact, if you were so stupid as to try to use this on a firearm, you'd probably blow it apart anyway. The baffles inside are not designed for that. They're designed for air. But this is specifically designed for an air gun. And if you'll notice, even on the writing, it says air rifle here, and it says for air rifles only. So it's for air guns, okay? So like I said, again, the use of this product in any manner that was inconsistent for which it was intended for, that is a violation of the law. Okay, so we know it's not a violation of federal law by putting this on your air gun. Now, you might want to check with your local laws, your state, city, county ordinances, things like that. But as far as the federal law, this is not against the law to put on your air rifle, okay? Even the threading on this has a 1/2 inch by 20 UNF. By the way, you know what UNF stands for? Unified National Thread. Anyway, Unified National Thread. So it's specifically set up and designed to go on air rifles. So keep that in mind. All right, let's show you how to mount this real quick, and then we'll talk about the specifics of this moderator. All right, so I haven't reviewed this gun yet. It's a Hassan AT-44, but I will get to it at some point. But anyway, these come already with the 1/2 by 20 thread on it. You simply just unscrew the cap here, grab your moderator, and you screw it on. That's simple, just till it's snugged up. You're done. That's all there is to it. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about this moderator. First of all, you can use it on .177 calibers, .22, and your .25 calibers. You can use it on all of those. Let's get this out of the way. All right, this thing it's definitely precision machined if you look at it. I mean, this thing is quality all the way through. It's made out of, feels like a heavy alloy. And obviously, I don't know if you guys know how moderators are set up. They have baffles inside. So definitely some precision machining when it comes to this. In addition to suppressing the sound, this can actually improve your accuracy. These work kind of like an air stripper. In other words, your pellet is being fired out of the barrel, and as it comes out of the barrel, it's pulling the air away from it, so it's creating a more stable environment for that pellet to travel. And you'd be surprised, you actually can improve your accuracy. I've seen it many a times on these, so that's also a bonus point. So solid construction on these. You know the term silencer, that was kind of more of a Hollywood term. You know, it's always, oh, a silencer, a silencer, a silencer. These they don't silence the air gun. Okay, what they do is they suppress the sound. Think about this, like a vehicle with a muffler. You have a muffler on a car, what's it do? It muffles the sound. This does the same thing, it muffles the sound. So you know what, it takes normally an air gun that you might think is a little too noisy to shoot in your backyard, it makes it backyard friendly. It's that simple. And these, by the way, are extremely reasonable in price. I've paid upwards of $200 for these before. But Cattleman Guns is selling these for just under $70. And like I said, they're amazingly well built. But how do they perform? Let's go test it out. I got some air guns lined up for you. We're going to go ahead and go through a few of them, and we'll just see how well this performs. And we'll come back and talk about it. All right, stay tuned for the next segment. Okay, so now we're going to test our Covert, and we're going to see how well it works. But what we're going to do first, I'm going to shoot 3 shots. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to use this brake barrel initially. I'm going to show you 4 different guns. So I'm going to shoot 3 shots with this Walter Paris, just a 22 caliber. We'll average the dB level out on 3 shots. And then we're going to put the Covert suppressor on, and we'll do 3 shots and average that out so you guys can see the real life difference between the two. So let's do 3 shots without, so we can get our average. Yes, those are my bipods on this gun. If you like those, if you want those, you know, you just go to my website to get those. All right, so let's see. Shot number 1. That was around, what, 86.5? Okay. Shot number 2. That was 89.8. And let's do one more. Shot number 3. That was around 86, almost 87. Okay, now let's put the suppressor on and do 3 more shots. Okay, voila, now the suppressor's on. Now we're going to do 3 shots, exact same environment, exact same pellets. I'm going to be using these, just this Crossman 14.3. Using a lighter end on the spectrum of pellets. I'm going to do that with all these guns so we can get the most noise we can out of these, so we can really see how the suppressor works. All right, so shot number 1. That's 75. I think it's 75.4. Okay. Shot number 2. 76. Shot number 3. 76 again, 76.6. So you can see that suppressor makes a significant difference. It turns an average gun into definitely a nice quiet backyard shooter. So let's try the other guns. Let's move on to the next one. All right, let's move on to the AT-44 here, and we'll test it as far as sound goes. I tried to pick out some of the guns that were a little less quiet. These are kind of my more noisier rifles. So we're going to go through and do these. So once again, I'm going to do 3 shots. We'll average that out, then we'll put the suppressor on. I'll do another 3 shots. And for this one, I'm going to go with a 20 grain pellet. I told you I'm going to go with the lighter pellets to get the most noise out of this so we can see how well this operates. So let's do 3 shots, see how well we do. All right, first shot. Yeah, 103.7. I definitely got you a noisy one. Okay. Shot number 2. 104.7, even noisier. Okay, and finally, one more shot. Yeah, 105. It's funny how each one of those went up just a little bit more. So we average those out. So there's your average dB level without the suppressor. Now let's move on and try the suppressor. All right, our Covert is now installed. Let's do 3 shots. Let's see how it does. All right, shot number 1. Seriously, 78.4. Shot number 2. 78.5. Wow, that's pretty consistent. And finally, one more shot. 79. Wow, that was very consistent, but you see the difference. That is a huge difference. All right, let's test the next gun. Okay, now we'll test the Galatian, and this is probably the loudest one that I have. So let's do 3 shots once again. I'm going to just use the, this is a 22 caliber, so I'm going to just use the Crossmans, just their 14.3 grain. So let's shoot 3 shots and see how well we do here. All right. Yeah, 107. This thing actually is loud. It's almost annoying to shoot. And shot number 2. 107 again, 107.3. And let's just do one more. 106.9. So there you go. So we're right at 107. So now, let's put our suppressor on and see how well it does. Okay, let's see how big of a difference it made from that 107 mark. That was definitely our high. Okay, so our suppressor's installed. Shot number 1. 79.4. Are you kidding me? Shot number 2. What was that, 87? And shot number 3. I read a 93 on that, and I can't believe that was a 93. It was just too quiet. I want to do one more. 89. Okay, so there's our average. I got one more gun for us to try. Okay, last but not least, let's try the gun sound. This is a 22 caliber. Do our 3 shots, and we'll switch over with the suppressor. So let's see, our first shot. That was 96.4. Once again, we're just shooting 14.3 grain. It's 22 caliber Crossman Premier. Okay, number 2, 96. And number 3, 97.6. Okay, let's put the suppressor on, see how well we do for our final 3 shots. Okay, our Covert is installed. Last 3 shots. Let's see how we do here. Okay, shot number 1. 77. Amazing. Shot number 2. 74.8. And shot number 3. 76.5. Whoa, look at the average on that. That does make a difference, that's for sure. All right, let's move on, wrap this up. We'll do my final thoughts on this. All right, how did our Covert do? Well, in my opinion, excellent, excellent. What an amazing performance. Seriously, it really did. Cattleman Guns, you did a great job with this Covert Moderator. You really did. I showed you some of the loudest air guns that you can have. They're some of the loudest air guns you can have. And the Covert suppressed each and every one of them to make them backyard-friendly guns. It really did. So it took guns that you could not normally shoot in your backyard, and guess what? It just made them backyard-friendly. It's hard to believe that you can get this type of performance for under 70 bucks. I have other moderators I've told you I've had, and I paid a lot more money for them, and they don't do as good a job suppressing the rifle. They really don't. So how would we rate this product? Are you kidding me? This is a 5-star product all the way. Again, where are you going to get a nice moderator that's built really, really well, and it really performs for under 70 bucks. So I got to thank Victoria at Cattleman Guns for actually sending this out to us and giving us an opportunity to look at this. And we really appreciate that, because anytime I can bring you guys something a little different or accessory that I think is worthwhile, I'm going to do that. So we had a good opportunity right here with this one. And I hope you guys learned a little bit about airgun suppressors. Remember, they're specifically for air guns. They're built and intended only for air guns. And that is what you should do. Beyond that, it's a violation of the law. And let's not violate the law. Let's just be happy, do a lot of shooting, and stay within the lines, if you know what I mean. All right, with that, I want to thank you guys all again for tuning in for an episode of Airgun Detectives. Don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the airgun. Until next time, I hope you all do a lot of shooting. You're safe, your families are well. God bless. Take care.